Good evening. Was there anybody that wanted to sign up for public comment or the hearing that didn't? Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anything you want to throw on there right quick?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm good.
We're ready? All right. If everybody will just bear with us just a minute, the council is going to have a prayer before we open the public meeting.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today as a council, asking you to give us guidance, wisdom, discernment, justice, love, and most of all, that neighborly spirit that only can come from you. Remind us, Lord, that as we sit here, that you are in charge and that we are trying to do your will. We're trying to be more like you and less like us, which means, Father God, that when we make decisions, we'll make them from a place of love and a place of acceptance. And so we ask you, Lord, to bless us and keep us, bless and keep our town, bless and keep our neighbors, and lead us and guide us in the way that you would have us go. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Carter. I'll now call the meeting to order and ask you to please make sure your phones are on vibrate. And stand with us as we do the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, we have approval of the agenda. Is there anything we need to add or subtract by anyone? Okay, hearing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Second.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. I'm excited now. This is Leland's Youth Baseball Majors Team, 2023 World Series champions for Dixie Youth Baseball. Russell, would you bring your crew up, please? Hansel, y'all might want to come here. We just want everybody to see who you are that we are so proud of. We can just come all around here. I'm going to get right in the middle of you. I'm excited because they told me last week I could be their bonus grandma. All right. Oops, I guess I need to come out here a minute. Huh? Okay, wait a second. Okay, these guys went to Louisiana and they won the World Series of Dixie Youth. Is that not awesome? Not only just recognizing them here tonight, I want to give them something. I'm not sure if they'll really understand it right now, but I think one day they will. Has anybody ever heard of a key to the city? Uh-huh. You haven't? Well, we have a key to the city, and we're going to give each one of you one, okay? And I want you to know, though, it does not open anything. The only thing it will open is the hearts of the people you have blessed, okay? So Russell, would you like to say anything about your guys?
I said it on the news, and the lady from the news channel asked me, did this make me proud of these guys? I was proud of them before they won this thing. And that's where the little comment come from. Winning the World Series championship was just icing on the cake. These guys busted it and worked hard to get there. You don't just take a team and put on the field and win the World Series. These guys worked hard, and I'm so proud of them for putting in the work and effort, and the coaches that spent the time with them. They're the real heroes. I just try to give them what they need to get the job done. So I'm very proud of them. And Leland, as I said before, I told the mayor, every day we had a Leland jersey in the dugout. And I'm watching online as the team wins the World Series game, and out of the dugout comes Steve Lanier, the coach. He's not here tonight, but here he comes out with that Leland jersey. And we had to wear these North Carolina jerseys in the World Series, but we wanted the world to know that we were from Leland, North Carolina. We're proud to be from Leland. All right, guys? Yeah.
Okay, council, will you help me get these out, please? If y'all will excuse me 1 second here. Yeah. Here you go. And any that's left, we're going to give to him because there's some of them missing tonight. This is for those that didn't come. Everybody have one? Everybody got one? Okay, can we have one more round of, oh, I'm sorry. We have one more little gift for you from the American Legion. Does everybody know what American Legion is? Bob, you want to tell them?
I sure will. I'm Bob Penwell. I'm here tonight in representing the Leland chapter Post 68 of the American Legion. We are a nonprofit group that basically is made up of veterans to support veterans, and in our particular case for the community service to the community of Leland. So we want you to know we are very, very proud of you too. We're very involved in lots of youth activities, the Junior ROTC, the Boy Scouts, et cetera, and we know for a fact that it's youth like you, because of the dedication you make to practice, conceive, and to play honorably and fairly, that you will turn out to be the kind of people that you'll see sitting around here tonight, okay, behind that stand. So for that, we want to say we're very proud of you, and it's my privilege to present each one of you with one of our flags.
Is that not awesome, guys? Okay, so have we got pictures yet? One more? All right, let's kind of crunch in a little bit and get us a good picture taken, okay? Come on. Oh yeah, where's that trophy at? I forgot about that big trophy. All right, but make sure you can see Jessica. If you can't see her, she can't see you. So if you need. You know, the beauty of all this is last week when they came home, pulling up in that ballpark with police escort, fire trucks there and stuff, they had a look on their face, really? We just won a ball game. It was so precious. But I appreciate the parents bringing them out tonight. And guys, best of luck in your future. All right. Next, we have public comment. Miss Sabrina, who do we have?
Okay. As I call your name, please go up to the podium on the left and state your name and address. You'll all be given 3 minutes to speak. The timer is right behind us, so just be mindful of that. And our first speaker is Arlene Gagnon, and Councilmember Campbell is going to come up, or down, I should say.
I'll count my speech against 3.
And help her.
I'm going to talk about you a little bit.
Oh, my goodness.
Miss Arlene's been a good neighbor down the street from me for a number of years, and she came from the great state of New Jersey once upon a time, and was very close with the police and the fire department up there.
It was hard not to. We had only 2 square miles.
There you go. How many residents?
Year-round, about 5,600.
Year round. So, anyway, she's got a special place in her heart for our first responders, the police chief, fire chief, and so tonight she would like to make a little monetary donation to Chief Jeremy Humphreys and Chief Ronnie Hayes with the fire department. So if you want to come up here to the middle, and you can. Now you gotta stand in the middle so we can get your picture.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you doing? Good.
So
And
Chief
you are
Ronnie Hayes.
Mr. Humphrey.
I am. How are you
Chief
doing?
Humphreys.
I'm doing good. Listen, the town I came from, the police, when we're in town, we used to tell the Bennies to go home in September because then our town went back to quiet. But during the summer, we had about 44,000 people. And that was a lot for our community to take care of, as you can imagine. And the police were overworked. And the fire chief didn't have it much better. So we always kind of thought an awful lot of the people that worked for us in the service. And I want you to know that I have brought that with me.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think the world of what you people do and what you have to put up with. So I'd like to present that to your department.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'd like to put that to your department.
Thank you.
I hope that you spend it well, but spend it any way you want.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I have no idea what you need, only you do. Please, keep our town protected. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
It's really wonderful. I've had an occasion to have the fire department come out, and they were really nice guys.
That's what we aim for. Thank you, ma'am.
And I've had occasion where I was parked in the middle of the street and didn't know I was, and the policeman came over and he said, "Ma'am, do you know where you are?" And I said, "Not really. I'm looking at the map to see if I can find Route 40." And he said, "Well, you're in the middle of the street." So if you would just please move over here, I'll help you find out where you gotta go.
That's awesome.
So they've been very kind to me, both ways. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you tell she used to teach school?
Yes, I was a teacher. This is much easier than Board of Education.
Yeah, you went to see her at Halloween all dressed up for the children at the clubhouse. I got pictures. Okay, Sabrina?
The next speaker is Johnny Thompson. And just a reminder, if you can state your name and address, please.
Yeah, I'm Johnny Thompson, 7279 Pine Cliff Drive. I have a Leland address, but I live in Winnebago, which my property from Winnebago to Leland is from that wall to that wall. The developers, which is the third developer for that property, in my opinion, are very arrogant people. They have no problem using our road as construction interests. I got all the video you'd want to see, all the pictures you'd want to see. We can't keep the inside of our house clean, much less the outside in our trucks or cars. Miss Bozeman has tried to work with me, which evidently she don't have any power, because no one is helping her out, I guess. I've called Representative Adler. I've called Representative Rabin, John Ford, I believe it is, Brunswick County Commissioner. I've been on the news twice, and this is my third trip here. I'm 72 years old, and I'm tired of being treated like a second-class citizen. Something needs to be done. The dust is so bad that you cannot get out in front of the house in the summertime, and you can't open your windows, your doors. Now these people these developers, wherever they're coming from, which the one I'm dealing with is, I think he's from Indiana, multi-millionaire, and he has told me to my face he didn't care how many times that I called Miss Bozeman. He was going to do what he wanted to on my piece of crap road. He said he spent $250,000 on it. And I don't like to call people liars, so I'm going to just say he wasn't speaking the truth. And they are clear cutting the property. Back when I was in elementary school, the tree was life cycle. They are filling in the wetlands back there. They are ditching it and draining the water. When it's through, there's supposed to be 4,000 homes in that one development on Maker Road, 87. Sunny Point's ammunition trucks come down 87. And we've had lots of problems with people about getting in wrecks right there on where you turn on the Pine Cliff, because the road's about 2 miles long. And the kids have to come to the front to get the bus. So that's just part of the problem. And I hope y'all help Miss Bozeman. And one other thing, I know it's out of time. You did an interview with WECT. You were discouraged because Representative Rabin passed a bill, I believe it was, that Leland cannot annex.
Johnny, your time, honey.
Okay, well, you try coming down our road if you don't want people of
Thank you,
Leland
Mr. Thompson.
riding on your road.
Thank you.
I got his number. I'll talk to him.
Thank you.
Harold Salter.
This is Johnny Cash's daughter cut you down.
Okay, Johnny.
And that you guy and the other. Tell you all about what's going on in this.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Harold Salter. I live 9377 Harbrook, right off of Old Fayetteville. I just want to, it's not a complaint, gripe. I was curious. I'm from the state of New Jersey. Been here, I came 220, so I've been going on 4 years. But how come, as long as I've been, what hit me spiritually, the kids don't have no sidewalks going from middle school to the high school, and from the high school, either direction, over the overpass. That's my grievance. I'm finished.
Thank you.
Thank you.
William Moore.
My name is William Moore. I live at 6116 River Breeze Way in Leland. Here for a couple of things. The first thing on my agenda is taxes. Surprise. 2 years ago, you hit me with a 24% tax raise. This year, I'm being hit with over a 30% tax rise. I have to tell you, when you look at numbers, my assessment went up about a third, 1/3 of the dollars, and by some coincidence, so did my tax rate. So I don't see you made any real effort to get to a neutral number. I think you need to rethink what you're doing, because you're spending too much money. The county even came down to 6% maximum. You're at 30% for a bump, much too much. And I think you need to think about that in the future, because you can't keep bumping numbers like this. People don't have that kind of money, especially in an economy where we're all hurting. Gas is going through the roof, groceries are going through the roof, and now the taxes are joining them. So I think you need to think about that. And following on what someone else said, roads. I live in Brunswick Forest. If you go down by the water tower, thanks to the developers down there, that stretch by the water tower is like a roller coaster. If you want to take a ride down there, just go through there and test your springs daily. I've complained about it. It's going to happen. Well, I'm going to eventually die, but that could happen too. No one seems to be reacting to it at all. Now, the developers just tore that road up, they filled it up, and it is like a roller coaster. And I also agree with what the other gentleman said with my time left. For 3 years I've been in that house, and development's going all around me. We can't stand the dust. I mean, cleaning up is just ridiculous, and it's not going to stop, and you need to think about it. Development has to be under some control. They need to fix roads. You guys are responsible for the road. You need to get it fixed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Spencer Skitter. I'm sorry, Sichter.
Thank you. Got it right that time. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Town Council, Town Manager, and the staff. First, my congratulations as well to the team's Little League for their phenomenal accomplishment.
Excuse me, Mr. Sichter. if
Oh,
you could
I'm
just-
sorry. You wrote it down, so I thought you had it. My name is Spencer Sichter, and my address is 8315 Slippery Elm Court. 53 years ago, the town I grew up in won the Little League World Series. And while not old enough to play at the time, I still remember some of those team members today. Your legacy, well, their legacy, will follow them for a lifetime and more. Again, congratulations. I would like to express my appreciation to Mr. Miller, Miss Vetter, and Miss Barefoot for their quick response to a sinkhole that opened up on Black Oak Drive in the forest at Mallory Creek. Without their involvement, the developer would not have responded as quickly as he did. Also, for appreciation to the inspection department for the quick inspection of the new playground at the triple floor in Mallory Creek. I would also like to commend Senior Officer Barry for his attendance at the Crisis Intervention Training course recently. Having been part of the NAMI training staff in the Sandhill areas, I recognize the value this training brings to our emergency responders and the community. However, just like in Cumberland County, the communication with the citizenry regarding the availability of a CIT responder is lacking. I do hope more of the emergency responders within the town of Leland and Brunswick County obtain this valuable training, as well as our public affairs staff puts out appropriate information of the program. I read where Chief Grimes had met with the president of Cape Fear National and Peninsula HOA regarding egress. I had previously suggested that our emergency manager arrange with the various HOAs in town, since they rotate or change frequently, to provide a briefing on incident command, the FEMA incident command, as well as probably point to the CERT training that's available. Each of our HOAs should be encouraged to provide some emergency details to their residents as to where to come for information. An incident command if there's a disaster instead of everybody calling 911. So hopefully it'll reduce the number of calls, and that our emergency teams during a true disaster can handle what they need to handle. Identifying muster locations will not only help the residents know where an ICC is established, but will also provide our responders an established location. We should encourage HOA leadership to maintain lists of homeowners' residents with compromised health conditions so as to assist them during a crisis. On the planning inspections report regarding performance guarantees, I did not see an open guarantee for the forest at Mallory Creek. Our streets and sidewalks, as I understand it, has not been turned over to the town of Leland. I have personally provided our planning and inspections department a thumb drive with pictures listing the locations of the various sidewalk and street defects, which I would hope the developer will fix before our town will have to incur the expense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob Zaborowski.
Good evening. My name is Bob Zaborowski. Address is 3046 Pine Bloom Way in Leland. Appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. A few weeks ago, I opened up my tax bill and looked at the Leland tax, and it went up 43% from last year. That is astronomical and insane. Now, since you can't tell me how to justify this, I'll just take a few guesses at what you might say. The town's growing, we need more services. That's true, but with that growth, you've got a growth in tax base. You've got a lot more people paying taxes. So that should not justify a 43% increase in taxes. The reassessment. If the reassessment doubles the value of your homes, you cut the tax rate in half to get a neutral budget. The reassessment knocked values way up, and you cut 2 cents out of the tax rate, which is a joke. I guess you did that so then you could say, well, we cut the tax rate. But it does nothing for the taxpayers. I would guess that another thing you thought about was most of these new people in here are Northerners who came from ridiculously high tax rates. And if we bump the taxes up by $400, even though it's 43%, they're not going to care. And on that, you're probably right, because people who were paying $20,000 a year in taxes don't get too excited by that, even though it's 43%, because most of them don't look at what percent it is. They just say, oh, it's $400. That's no big deal. Now, I know the township manager puts the budget together, and his job is to run the town. So he wants that to be as easy as possible, which makes sense. And I certainly don't blame him for this. He did his job. He wants as much money in to make it as easy as possible to run the town. But you people are supposed to watch out for the taxpayers, and you didn't do your job. There's no way a 43% increase can be justified. Anyway, so for those of you who are running for re-election, is your campaign slogan going to be, I raised your taxes 43%, vote for me? I am astonished by this. I've never seen this anywhere else, that kind of a tax increase. Appreciate for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Craig Bonnet.
I'm Craig Bonnet, live at 2152 Forest View Circle. Coincidentally, that gentleman who just spoke just stole my thunder. So there's not much more I can say. I came, not knowing the procedures, I came tonight to ask the council why my taxes, my Leland taxes went up 43%. Just happen to have the numbers here. So I guess we share the same. I guess maybe that's typical, I don't know. 43%. I found it outrageous, ridiculous for what the town provides. As long as I've got the platform for a couple minutes, I might as well tell you some of my pet peeves. I know some of the 17 and some of the roads are obviously state roads, but Leland has Leland roads. The dirt, the gravel, the crap that accumulates on these roads for whatever reason. I'm not going to talk about, I lived someplace else for all my life and I've never seen anything like it. But been here 4 years, have had 2 flat tires, picking up stuff, making the U-turns. 17 is better. I know it's a state road, is better now that they repaved it last year. But all the entrances of Leland roads coming onto some of the main roads, there's nothing but crap. It's stupid. There's no reason you can't take care of the roads. Our development is most interesting, isn't it? There seems to be, we're developing like mad, and let's have another fast food restaurant in the area. Why doesn't somebody go out and intentionally try and identify little better upscale businesses for the town instead of just accepting and approving every fast food restaurant that comes to town? And for that, I'm paying 43% more in my taxes. I agree with that gentleman. I do understand how taxes work. When our property goes up by whatever percent, you just don't use the same tax rate as last year. What are you gonna do with a 43% increase in the town budget in 1 year? It's foolish. Now, I don't know any of you, and I'm sorry I got a little more excited than I intended to, but that gentleman stated the case real well, and I'm telling you, I'm angry about that kind of treatment. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. I'm hoping I'll have a chance to confront some of you later. I really thought that there'd be a question and answer period, and apparently there's not. So I'm stating my grievance, and hopefully some of you can explain to me why you did what you did, because I think it's asinine. Thanks.
Thank you, Craig.
And our last speaker is Louis Hamadi.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Louis Hamadi. I live at 1119 Hampton Pines Court, and I'm here to talk about the Constitution, which goes into some of these things these gentlemen talked about. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that God is. I say we cannot separate God from the Constitution and Constitution from God. Alexander Hamilton said that the hand of God wrote the Constitution. Benjamin Franklin said, we have a republic, can we keep it? All right, I wrote this just a day or two ago. It's called The Day Our Soul and Our Republic Died. Our fathers lived in liberty after they threw off tyranny. They declared that we have natural rights endowed by our Creator: life, liberty, property rights, and pursuit of happiness. These rights they called inalienable rights. They come from heaven above. No man can usurp them because they are natural rights. The universe speaks to us about God's nature. God delivers his message at the speed of light. Men's hearts tremble, for they fear the Creator. They hide behind walls, caves, and in dark places. God knows their thoughts and sees their actions. No man can deceive him. Judgment day will come upon all of us for denying our Creator and worshiping idols, for removing his commandments, and for removing prayer from public places, for preventing the natural use of our body, for perverting the natural use of our bodies, and killing our newborn babies, for filling our minds with evil thoughts. Our actions show us our true nature. Our speech is corrupted, and we deny God at every angle in our Constitution, in our way of life, in our government. And I do agree with you, gentlemen, about the taxes. I majored in accounting and know about taxes, and I have not looked at the tax rates, but I was upset when I also received my tax bill. I always thought the government tried to make it neutral, where if the tax rate goes up, or the assessments go up, or the valuation, they adjust the tax rate so the tax doesn't go up very much from where it was before, unless there's a budget increase, which might require some increase. But as all you know, I've always, when I ran for town council, I was always for limited government, and limited government and reducing the benefit of, well, anyway, that's basically it. I've lost my thought, but my time's up. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Louis. Okay, that was it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we do appreciate all the comments. Next, we have approval of the consent agenda. Does anyone have anything they want to take out, or do I have a motion to accept?
Mayor Bozeman, if we could just make sure there's no conflict of interest or disclosure statements.
Okay, is there any conflict of interest?
Yep.
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'll now open the public hearing, Founders Park debt insurance. Is there a conflict of interest or disclosure anyone needs to make?
No.
No.
Okay, and no one from the public signed up to speak tonight, so we'll turn it over now.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The town plans to issue debt for Founders Park project in the amount not to exceed $8 million. The purpose of this public hearing is to gather input on the debt issuance pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 160A-20. Founders Park is located at 113 Town Hall Drive, and it serves as Leland's flagship facility for a variety of events and programs throughout the year. The Founders Park project will bring forth an amphitheater, picnic and restroom pavilion, splash pad, an accessible playground, a veterans memorial, multi-use path, improved parking, enhanced stormwater systems. Also included in the project is a complete rebuild and extension of Perry Avenue, which will connect Village Road and Old Fayetteville Road, and resurfacing of Town Hall Drive. The town's budgeted contribution is approximately $2 million in the form of grants and general fund appropriation. Here you'll note the project timeline with yellow indicating the current stage we are at. Staff is requesting no action from council at this time.
Okay. Anybody got any comments or anything?
I'll just say I'm glad that we're finally getting this off and going. It's been a number of years. I think I was on the Parks and Recs board when this started more than 4 years ago. And obviously things don't necessarily get better with time, they get more expensive. So I'm glad that we're moving forward with this.
Okay. I'm going to close the public hearing because no action is needed. Okay? Old or new business? Anyone have anything they need to bring? Your staff reports are on your iPads. Council reports, I will report. There is a groundbreaking at the high school on August 22nd at 8 o'clock a.m. if anybody wants to attend. On August 31st, Mayor Bill Sappho has the Metro Mayors over on Front Street. You have to get the address if you're interested in going to hear the spiel on the railroad responses that has been out there working on for 2 or 3 years. And that's on the 31st at 1 o'clock, I believe it is. Anything else anybody wants to bring up? Hearing none, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next regular council meeting is September 14th, 2023 at 6 o'clock p.m. or shortly thereafter.
Have a good evening.